Folks, welcome to the Prepared Homestead. This is Travis. Thank you all for stopping by to watch another really hot, steamy day. But you know what? It's summer, and I've said that about every day this week, so you probably know that by now. But it's crazy that people are still, oh my goodness, it's so hot, something's up. No, it's just summer. And, you know, you're living in kind of the southern areas, and it's hot. Just is. Deal with it. You better have a good idea of how to deal with it, because what happens if the grid goes down and your air conditioning doesn't work? What are you going to do then? You better think about that. Anyways, I'm wearing a really cool shirt. Look at this. This is good stuff. This is from Sanctified Supply Co. SanctifiedSupplyCo.com. It's the best shirt you'll ever find. Trust me, I know what I'm talking about. It's the biggest and the best. They're beautiful, beautiful shirts. They're exquisite. They're perfect shirts. And some people would say that I'm sort of an expert on this kind of thing. So trust me when I say they're the best. They're the best. So go to SanctifiedSupplyCo.com and get you an amazing shirt. You won't be disappointed because I know. Trust me. So in the news today, man, I don't know why my throat is. I know why. I've been doing some duct work today, and I was in old duct work, and it was super dusty and some old fiberglass, and that's why. I just realized that, because I've been really not nasally coughy sneezy for the last couple hours. That's why. Anyways, Ghislaine Maxwell met a second time with federal prosecutors today. And her attorneys have formally requested a pardon from the president. Rumor has it that she has given up 100 names of clients of Jeffrey Epstein. And the president, when asked about this, said that he does have the authority to pardon her, and he'll consider it. It's quite possible, and this is all speculation, that she may get a pardon as long as she only talks about certain things or nothing at all. So we'll see. So that's being in the works. So here's someone that, trafficked girls and groomed them for men that's going to get pardoned, possibly. I mean, it's kind of starting to look that way. Anyways, but he said that he's capable of it. He has authority, and he'll consider it. Trump also said today that Obama does have presidential immunity when it comes to all of this Obama-gate, Russia-gate stuff, that he does have presidential immunity. So it's interesting, and which would mean that Bill Clinton also has presidential immunity. So all of this big hype that we're going to prosecute them and they're going to go to jail, which I said is never going to happen, isn't. And it's most likely, yes, they could go after other people, but if they're acting under the direction of the president, it would be hard to say, well, if he had immunity because of what he was doing and these people were doing what he told them to do, I don't know. I still think that nothing's going to happen, but we'll see. It's possible. There could be some small fry prosecuted and go to jail, but I doubt that there'll be too much. That's just me. The Treasury Department, U.S. Treasury, has announced that you can now use your Venmo and your Cash App account to send money to the Treasury if you would like to make a donation to pay down the Treasury, the national debt. That's right. So if you're just so charitable and gracious that you would like to send money to the U.S. government that's stolen and pillaged from you, then you can do so through your Cash App and Venmo. If you're that desperate to just give money away, you can go to a link down below to our nonprofit that we run, that we help people around here in the area that I live in, and help our local firefighters and EMS and work with them and work with the emergency management office and all that kind of stuff. We're completely nonprofit. You're welcome to give your money there, because I guarantee you we'll use it for a lot better things than than what the government does. I mean, we actually do help people and save lives. And I'm the president and executive director. So if you just have this money you'd like to get rid of, then that might be the way to go. FEMA has announced that they are going to spend $600 and some odd billion on building immigrant detention facilities. You know, I say this all the time. I am 100% in favor of getting rid of all the illegals in this country. But here's the thing: when we detain them here, now they're still here. And if they're in detention facilities, then they're not working. Many of them are working. I'm not saying they all are, but many of them are working. We put them in detention facilities. Now they're no longer working, where at least some businesses aren't getting any benefit from them working. They're not earning any money, and now we're completely supporting them. And being that they're detained in our justice system, that means that they are afforded certain rights that you have here in America. And I don't like that. Kick them out. I also don't like that the FEMA is building all these big FEMA camps, which is exactly something that many of you have known about for many years. I mean, that's one of my first, I guess, little claim to fame. Many years ago, being a whistleblower to that, was in a documentary talking about FEMA camps. And so now, once again, like I've said before, how many things in the last several months were once really bad in conservatives' minds? Oh, conservatives are completely against this. Now we're supporting it. So we've got FEMA out there. Why is it FEMA building these? FEMA shouldn't have anything to do with immigration or detention facilities, but FEMA's building these detention facilities that could very easily later on be used to house other people that may not be immigrant. The president also said, well, he actually wrote an executive order. He signed an executive order encouraging states and cities to round up homeless people and put them in re-education camps. I've always been kind of down the middle of the road, so to speak, when it comes to homelessness. I've done a lot of volunteering in homeless, facilities and stuff. I've done some street work, ministry, and I've helped over the years at different times, gather donations to take to homeless folks. Some of them are there because of reasons beyond their control. Some of them have mental, problems. Some of them are there because that's just where they want to be. Some of them are just criminals that are there. Whatever, it doesn't matter. I wish they didn't exist. I wish that there's certain things in government, and especially in some areas, that cause it. I think that churches should be more involved in it, but I'm not so sure sending them off to re-education camps. The point that I'm getting with these last two things that I've said, on the surface, I have to be so careful with what I'm getting ready to say, because so many people are going to take this wrong and hate me bitterly. But if you've watched me for any length of time, you know that I typically just say it and let the chips fall, and you either hate me or love me. The problem that I see with this is that we're building hundreds of billions of dollars in detention facilities for illegals, and then we're potentially starting a system of sending Americans to re-education camps. And it's easy to get behind both of these two things right now because it's illegals and it's homeless people, two segments of society that we do not want to be there. We don't want illegals in our country. I agree with that. We don't want homelessness and vagrancy and stuff on our city streets. And I don't have a solution, but my gut tells me that building facilities to do these things aren't the right solution, because it's opening the doorway so that later on they could be used for other things. And I'm not even insinuating that Trump would be the one to do that. I mean, there's talk right now. Joe Rogan, who's been fairly favorable to conservatives and Republicans, is saying that he thinks that Hunter Biden could be the next Democrat presidential candidate. And the way things are going, unless Trump plays some kind of move that prevents it, it's becoming very possible that the next president could be a Democrat. And so you have billions and billions of dollars of detention facilities. Now, it could also be Trump. It could also be, you know, all the Palantir and the Peter Thiel and the Elon Musks and the big AI technocracy says, hey, we've got these detention facilities and we have these segments of society that's not complying. You know, they're not getting their microchips and their pokey-pokes and they're using their digital currency. They're doing this gray black market stuff and they're trying to live outside of society. Well, we've got all these facilities. Let's put them in there. This is how totalitarian regimes throughout history have started. You know, and I'm not making a direct comparison between Hitler and Trump. So please don't even go down that road. That's not what I'm saying. But that's how things started with Nazism and Hitler's regime. Is that at first they went after the people in society that no one liked anyways. You know, yeah, let's get homeless people off the street. Let's get the drunkards and the prostitutes and the child molesters and the, you know, and the drug addicts and, you know, all these people that are just, you know, degrading our society. Let's get them off the street. And then it just progresses and progresses and progresses. It's a very slippery slope. Yeah, we got to do something about the tens of millions of illegals in this country. They need to be gotten out. I don't believe it's possible. I really don't. I think that this is all a big orchestrated plan. Let so many in this country so quickly that it's virtually impossible to kick them all out. And so, you know, to keep going with this narrative that we're going to do something about it, we're going to, you know, create these facilities that we go lock them up in. And it's also a way to create these facilities so that later on other people could be locked up in them. I don't know. I'm not saying it'll happen, but it's just a gut feeling. You know, when I start hearing re-education camps and detention facilities, big, I mean, $600+ billion, that's going to be that's some big whopping, lots of them, detention facilities. So what's going to happen to those once let's just play this out. Let's play it out in a perfect scenario. They build them, they fill them full of 10 million illegals. And then little by little, they're shuffling them out of this country. And then now they're all set and empty. They're just going to let them rot away? Well, they'll probably figure out something else to use them for. Those dissidents in society that just won't participate and listen. I don't know. It's setting a precedence that I don't like. We'll see. Yeah, you just need to be getting ready. The world is changing probably more rapid than I think any of us really realize. I think a lot of this stuff that draws our attention to it, it's keeping us purposely from understanding the full scope and the speed at which things are changing. And we're going to probably wake up one day, even those of us that are very aware. It's very possible that we'll wake up one day and realize, oh my goodness, it's already here. It's already all around us. They're already controlling us. They're already spying on us. So get ready, get prepared, stock up, prep up, pray up, get your houses in order and prepare yourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.